We wanted to use this opportunity to rethink how we did community planning. That meant that we wanted to coordinate and update in multiple plans at once so that we had the same conversation updating multiple different policy documents, which had never really been done before. We also wanted to kind of reinvent how we engage the community.
I think, the kind of sociological part of Love Indy and Plan 2020 really made me realize that you have to start with people and not places or things. It's not like starting with the city and putting that on people, but it's more like looking at it the other way. Well, what do the residents think and feel and say, and what do they want more of, or what are they asking for? What have they been saying for years and years that we haven't been listening to?
As far as committee leadership, we followed the Super Bowl model, where we paired a veteran community leader with an emerging community leader.
One of the wonderful things about Plan 2020 is the bringing together of all different segments of our community and trying to find ways that we can solve problems jointly or address situations jointly.
I think it's exciting to see that it's not one plan, it's a compilation of many plans and many ideas that are coming together.
This gives us certainly an opportunity to look at plans that haven't been updated, in some cases decades, and collaboratively work with neighborhood groups and organizations to update those plans and design them so that they are current and forward-thinking.
I was pretty excited when Plan 2020 started rolling out because it was at one time a visionary, comprehensive community development plan for the city, and it was pretty important at the time to do that. There were a lot of disparate initiatives and different things going on, and Plan 2020 was a way to bring it all together.
At the end of the day, there were really just a handful of people that were tasked with translating all of that work, that incredible body of work, into one succinct plan. And so we hit pause for a second. We used Gypsy's Race and Cultural Relations Leadership Network to form kind of a cultural review committee.
And so going through that cultural review committee process was extremely enlightening for us. I think it was one of the most worthwhile pieces of Plan 2020 that we did.
Our community needs to learn how to work between the different races, different income levels, and different religions to come together as a community and look at everyone as a resource.
As the CEO for Leadership Indianapolis, it did help us identify some key elements that we need to work on as a community if we truly want to stay vital and a thriving and sustainable city.
As Indianapolis looks to attract talent and looks to attract technology talent, we see this effort as creating an engine in Indianapolis that really appeals to millennial technology talent that wants to be a part of a city that is forward-facing, that is communicating with constituents in a 21st century manner.
We wanted to find ways for people to talk about Indianapolis in a positive way versus kind of justifying why we lived here, right? Which we've done for a long time.
A lot of people in other cities love their city too, we know that. But Indianapolis has that special sauce, that sweet spot for engagement. And that has been there, and I think that will only continue, and we will continue to build on that.
Cities compete viciously on a daily basis, and so if Indianapolis sits idle, we'll be passed by. And so I think it's incumbent on not only the Plan 2020 team and those implementation partners, but the community as a whole to make sure that we race ahead. That well past 2020, not only have we exceeded all the goals and tactics and cascading objectives that we want to put in place, but that we look back and say, wow, this is something that really helped us. It helped galvanize the community, it helped get all the partners together, and it wasn't just a piece of paper or a project that was stuck on a shelf, that it was actually implemented and adopted by partners.
I think Plan 2020 is really essential in that it's bringing together so many different aspects that all really contribute to what makes our city strong and visionary, and one that will just continue to grow.
We all know that to continue to improve on our city, it takes funding and it takes time, but it also takes great thoughts of wonderful people around the table engaged in those conversations. And so when you have that type of dialogue where somebody comes up with a what if and wouldn't it be great, and then someone else, you know, builds on that idea and opportunity, I think that that is the best part of the Plan 2020 planning process.
We've been very blessed over the years to have terrific mayors for many, many years, going back really for 50 or more years. And Mayor Hogsett is just another in a long line of people who have vision, who have energy, and who have a terrific team around them.
Mayor Hudnut often said that you can't be a suburbs of nothing, and really focused on building our downtown. And that is amazing and wonderful and great. Well, the Hogsett corollary is that you can't be a downtown of nothing. And so really focusing on building and rebuilding in some cases and developing our neighborhoods.
We knew that in order to really address some of our big population health statistics, it was going to take a large effort and a very cross-sector collaboration. And so what I think Plan 2020 has specifically allowed us to do is really strategically align ourselves with some of the sectors that maybe weren't at the table for Top 10 early on.
I think Plan 2020 has really helped, again, create a nice tapestry of organizations connected to one another, aligned with our common shared goals to make our city the best it can be.
I think that the work that we've done through Health by Design, the work of Plan 2020, and then that overlap and even the PED plan itself really is foundational in work that will extend not just for the next few years, but decades to come.
For me personally, the ability to be part of something larger than the library, but to bring the library into that larger effort was very, very fulfilling. I believe strongly that the library is an integral part of our community institutions, but sometimes the library isn't at the table with other institutions, and the 2020 process gave us a chance to really be at the table.
And I'm not sure what exactly the future holds, but it's great that we were able to come together and prepare for the future and really get on paper what the community wants our city to look like.
Indianapolis is a pretty incredible community, and I firmly believe that this plan, the overall plan, can be accomplished in the timeline that we have set because there are so many people doing such incredible things, and people that want to do incredible things. People will always want to be able to get around their community. People will always want to be better connected to one another. People will always want to volunteer and be civically engaged. So I think some of the themes will certainly live on. They'll outlive our time on this project. Only the action steps will change, and maybe the partners will exchange hands. But the themes, I think, are everlasting.